never will be again. It's the same as it never was. Broken glass, shattered dreams. Just leave it all behind. Broken glass, shattered dreams. Can't see what's on my mind. Strike out into new frontiers to see what I can find. Time, time, time and time again. Time, time, time and time again. It's the same as it never was.
I'm ready.
Never will be again.
Got it. Okay.
It's the same as it never was. Can't go back home. 'Cause home's no longer there. Can't go back.
Hello and welcome to another Crutchfield Live. I'm your host, JR. I'm the training manager here at Crutchfield. Welcome to all our viewers on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to start by telling you we would love to interact with you during today's show. So please comment, question, anything that's on your mind, hopefully Crutchfield related, and we will attempt to address it live during the show. Both on Facebook and on YouTube. We have a pretty great show for you today. It's actually going to be our last show of 2021. We have some pretty cool plans for 2022, which we will get to here in a little bit. I've got three special guests with us today. First, we'll be meeting one of our advisors. Her name is Dylan, and we'll be talking about some of the products that she really enjoys talking about with customers. You'll see some of that right over here. We are then going to talk to Dave. Dave does our demo days, setting up products for advisors to check out live in our call center so that they can speak knowledgeably about them with our customers. We're going to talk to them about some Sony ES products that was recently set up for a demo day. And then we're going to talk with Eric. He's my co-host on Crutchfield, the podcast. He'll be coming in to show some sort of last-minute, in-stock Christmas gift ideas. So if you're still shopping, there's still time to get some stuff, get it shipped to you in time for Christmas, because all the stuff he's going to show you is in stock, at least as of right now. If you're watching this live, we will be able to answer questions live. If you're watching this after the fact, still post your questions. We do look at those comments on both Facebook and YouTube. We have people that go review those and answer questions as often as possible. So don't let yourself, don't be shy. Ask your questions. Eduardo says hi from Facebook. Thank you, Ed. What's up, Eduardo? Gary Gibbs from Crutchfield Virtual Audio Lab in Blacksburg says hello. He's working in our facility down in Blacksburg where they do a lot of stuff making our speaker compare technology work. So shout out to Gary. Thank you for watching, buddy. And let's see. All right, cool. We're going to talk a little bit later to Dave about some Sony ES products. One of those, the radio we're going to be talking about is very popular. It's the 9500 ES. We actually showed it on a previous, do we have that on a live? We did that on a live before, right? We also did a product spotlight video on it. It's a really, really exciting radio. And one of the things about it is the volume knob has, or lack thereof, has brought up some issues. Some people are concerned that it has no volume knob. And you know, volume knobs on car stereos are, for some people, very important. We have a poll question. I want to find out for you, how important is a volume knob? So here's the question. For aftermarket radios, if you were looking for an aftermarket radio, what type of volume control do you prefer? Some radios have a knob, some have up-down buttons on them, and regardless of that, you might be able to just use your steering wheel controls depending on the car and the radio you choose. So what is your preference? To use a volume knob, to use buttons on the radio, or to use buttons on your steering wheel? Those are your three choices. Go ahead and answer that question. We'll get the poll results later in the show. Bobby says hi. What's up, Bobby, from Facebook? Thank you for watching. Mike R on YouTube. Good afternoon, Mike. Thank you for watching. We posted a few days ago on our YouTube community page that we would be doing this live, and we would love to answer your questions. Several of you posted comments and questions right there, so we've got 8 comments. I kind of want to breeze through those, try to address what I can right here at the top of the show. For example, Tropalium says, would love some possible insight as to why my Kenwood randomly turns off and on. There's a lot more to that one. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail there because it's really what it sounds like, Tropalium, is that your Kenwood either has a loose wire. You say in here you checked all that though, so it could have a loose solder joint in the radio, or there could be a loose fuse or wire in the car that you may not have checked yet. If you got your Kenwood from Crutchfield, call tech support. They can help you troubleshoot that. It sounds here like you might also be just ready for a new radio anyway, and installing a new radio will most likely fix it because you will probably make sure all your wires are tight and the new radio shouldn't have a loose solder joint. You also had a really good idea for a video. You said also a good video on wiring 4 speakers to a 2-channel amp would be amazing. Yeah, that is a good idea, and that comes into play a lot when you're hooking up multiple speakers to a 2 or a 4-channel amp, or hooking up subwoofers to a mono amp. There's a lot that we could really cover there in a video that I don't think we have well covered yet. So I am passing that along to our video team. It is on the list of stuff we would like to do. I don't know when it'll get done, but yeah, please know that that's a really good suggestion. President Hughes from YouTube says, an overview of the Kanto YU and the Yamo Studio series of speakers and their cons. Also, how to decide on size and power of a home subwoofer and ported versus sealed. Let's talk about that home powered subwoofer issue. There's a lot of things to think about when you're getting a powered sub for your home. Ported or sealed is one of them. Placement is one. How big it is, how much power it has. And most of those questions are addressed in an article that we have already on Crutchfield.com. It's called our Home Theater Subwoofers Buying Guide. So you go to articles and videos and search for that. It's pretty easy to find. Hopefully we can get a link to that here in the comments at some point as well. And as far as a review of those particular speakers, Kanto YU and Yamo Studio Series speakers, I'll put that on the list as well. I don't know when and if we'll be able to, but that's a great idea as well because those are pretty awesome speakers. Those Yamos are fantastic. Gabriel Sanroman says, is it okay to place a tall boy speaker on top of a subwoofer? So what I'm picturing from that question is like a floor standing speaker sitting on top of a powered sub. And a couple thoughts come to mind. Do you have 2 powered subs, one for your left and your right speaker? And if so, your speakers would be placed a little higher than normal. Floor standing speakers are generally designed to get those tweeters, those high frequency drivers right at ear level. And if you raise them above ear level, when you're sitting in your chair, you might not be getting the optimal sound or the sound that they're really capable of. So that's something to consider. If you only have 1 powered sub, you certainly don't want to raise one speaker up and leave the other one low. There's also the idea that the bass from the sub could actually affect the sound of the floor standing speakers on top of the sub. So if you were going to do it, you'd want to find some way to acoustically decouple your floor standing speaker from your sub. Generally speaking, probably not the best idea. That's what I would say. Anson Tan says, how do I move the icon from right to left on my Pioneer radio? It kind of depends on which icon. If you're talking about like a CarPlay icon, those are very easily customized in the CarPlay settings on your iPhone. I assume you can probably do something similar with an Android, but I don't have personal experience with that. The Pioneer favorites menu, those icons can also be added and removed from the home screen. And you can see how to do that on page 92 of the owner's manual. If it's anything other than that, I'm not sure what to tell you. You should probably call our tech support. They can tell you if it can be done or not. Just going to check in on live. We'd have some more people watching. Hey, from Rebecca in Burlington, North Carolina. Special shout out to Dylan. Love my earbuds from Crutchfield. All right, Dylan, even before she gets on the show, is already getting some shout outs. Ted on Facebook says, I like both a knob and steering wheel controls. My passengers, usually wife and kids, use the knob. I use the steering wheel controls. Carlos says, hello, switch or knob a must. I drive a 60s car. Yeah, you want something physical? Absolutely, that makes perfect sense. Back to our community comments. Harish Bai says, can I connect my Pioneer TSW 309D4 subwoofer, which I happen to know is a car subwoofer, like a 12-inch sub that goes in a box. Wants to connect that to a professional power amplifier like a Yamaha, a QSC, or a Crown. Pro audio amplifiers. Amps designed to power PA speakers, like for a band on a stage. And can you connect them? Yes. Is it a great idea? No. The impedance is a little weird. You'll get more power out of that amp than you might be expecting. Also, those amps are designed for professional level speakers that can handle the dynamics of a live performance. Your subwoofer that's designed to go in your car is not. So it's really not a good idea. Please don't do that, or you might need a new sub. Let's see. Kendall Hooker has a nice long comment here. I won't be able to read the whole thing. The gist of his entire question, though, is it seems like Crutchfield talks about bass, but not like serious big bass, because you know there's competition level systems out there where we're talking about thousands of watts of power and many inches of subwoofer diameter and moving lots of air, and we don't tend to talk about that as much. Please know, we're trying to appeal to the most people, right? That doesn't mean we can't talk about competition level bass. Our advisors are trained to get you subwoofers that can handle thousands of watts of power to help you get them wired up correctly. Our tech support can certainly help you do that. We definitely can talk the talk and as far as competition level bass and walk the walk. But we can also hook you up with just, you know, a normal amount of bass in your minivan, or if you just want to, you know, just emphasize the low end of your music, we can do that as well. So, and any kind of bass, we can get you there. We don't talk as much about it so far on the Crutchfield Live, but maybe we will. Maybe that'll be a topic for a future show. So thanks for the question. Seth Tuck Crow says, why are Crutchfield Company not covering worldwide shipping? You know, that's a big one. That's a pretty large issue. It's mostly a legal thing. You know, our vendor agreements only allow us to sell in the U.S. We would have to develop all new vendor agreements. It's quite a large scale, selling to the entire world, not just America. And it's kind of a big deal. And it's just not something that we have decided to tackle as a company yet. Can we? We sure could if we wanted to. And that's really a Bill Crutchfield level decision. So for now, if you are anywhere within a U.S. zip code, we can ship to you. That includes military bases, islands in the Pacific, Puerto Rico, of course, the 50 states. We also have Crutchfield.ca for our friends in Canada, so we can ship to a Canadian address if you're shopping on Crutchfield.ca. But yeah, that's kind of it for now. So maybe someday we'll go worldwide. Let's see if we got any more things here. Let us know any comments you have. Yep, we'll be looking for any more comments. Please feel free to post them right here while we're live. But I think we're ready to bring in our first guest. Rebecca, it's time. I hope you're watching still, because Dylan is one of our advisors. She's been an advisor here on the phone. You can come on in, Dylan. She's been an advisor on the phone here for less than a year. She actually started in our retail store. Dylan, how are you today?
Good. Good.
Excellent.
Thanks for having me.
And we thought it'd be cool to sort of meet an advisor. We might start doing this more regularly on Crutchfield Live, and we figured we'd start with Dylan. You kind of reached out to us, and you had some things particularly that you wanted to talk about, and we thought, Yeah, let's do that whole meet an advisor segment we've been talking about.
Awesome.
How has it been for you? Because you started in our retail store, and you transitioned to being a phone advisor. So you're working from home now, talking to people on the phone. How has that been?
It's quite a contrast because in-person interactions are, we all know what that is like. You get to see expressions and be there with a person and talk and look at products and have them physically in front of you. So it's been a different experience, but I have to say now spending the last several months on the phones, I feel like I've been able to sort of get a better grip on the subject, on the stuff that we talk about, because I have to be a little bit more creative. Like we use a tool called Connect ID if you're shopping on our website, where an advisor like me can connect with you sort of to recreate an in-person experience. You would see my name and my little bio pop up, and then I can share a cart with you, or I can share products with you straight to your screen. And that makes it sort of more personal. But yeah, as a phone advisor now, I've had to figure out how to virtually shop with folks, and it brings up more questions. I have to create a better context because it's not right there in front of me. But I feel like I've grown a lot since I've done it, and it's a different challenge. But it's like I get to speak to people from like LA and Las Vegas and New York and people from all over the country all day long. It's pretty fun.
And the volume of customers that you get to talk to in a day on the phones, right? Because it can be call after call versus in the retail store where even if it is customer after customer, the numbers are wildly different.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can't, right, you pretty much talking to one person or a few people in a group at a time in the retail store, and well, I'm speaking to one person at a time on the phone too, but yeah, it's definitely a different experience. Like I've got, I don't know, I speak to probably on average 15 more people now on the phone than I did in person at the store.
And you could give, throughout your day, you could be taking call on a TV, and then you're talking car speakers, and then you're talking about a drone, and then you're talking about a camera.
Yeah.
And it runs the entire gamut. So your day is, I mean, it doesn't ever gets boring because you never know what's coming.
Oh, no. It'll be the morning, and then all of a sudden the evening, and I'm like, oh, what happened? Where am I? And I'm still at my desk, but yeah, it's fun. It's not boring. It's challenging. It's fun. It's versatile. There's a lot going on.
And the skills that you need on the phones slightly different, but obviously very similar to what you need in the retail store. But it's imperative to be a good listener and to ask really good questions.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned before, creating a context for the person I'm speaking with. They don't sit at my desk and do that all day, every day, like us advisors do. They're just thinking about one product that they may be curious about or maybe have some experience with. So creating a context, building a framework for understanding the process and the product, and asking questions like how would you ideally see this in your room, or what do you ideally hope that this will sound like in your car, or whatever it is, helps get to that end point, and it helps me feel confident that the person I'm speaking with is confident at the end of our conversation.
In a way, it's almost more personal because you have to really dig in and ask those questions and get them to express themselves and what they want and why they want it and what they want to accomplish, right? Whereas if you have that person in front of you, some of that stuff might be more obvious, so you don't kind of have to ask. And so, it's a very personal experience.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's more challenging. Like I mentioned before about being in person with somebody, you've got to connect on a different level. We use that Connect ID tool, which works really well. It's really unique and super fun. But then all on us advisors to fill out the rest.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that just buy on the website without ever contacting us, but for those in the know, the smart thing to do is to get in touch with an advisor because they're pretty well trained, if I don't say so myself, and they know what they're doing, and they really are interested in helping you get you what you want and to meet your end goals. So, and you talk to wonderful people like Abby. What did I say? Abby? When I first met Dylan, her name was Abby. You had to go with you had to change your name when you went from the retail store to the phones.
Yeah, that was slick. That
Thanks.
was really
You like
good.
What I did there?
Yeah, you shocked me.
I'm the master of segues.
Incredible. Yeah, I did.
So we already have an Abby in the contact
yeah,
center?
that's what it was. You can't double up on names because it could be confusing. So
Yeah, transferring customers back to Abby. Which Abby is it, right? So
Yeah,
each sales advisor has a unique name, which means some of us don't get to use our real names. How'd you choose Dylan?
well, this would be much cooler if this were true, but it's not. But I'll say it like this: if this were true, this is the story. Wait. But basically, I just kind of like the sound of it. It was actually a suggestion, I think, from another advisor at first, and I kind of tossed it around. But Dylan is the name of Drew Barrymore's character in Charlie's Angels, which I came to find out after I chose, but I felt much cooler after. But yeah, it was kind of on the spot. I had to do a training call, like a coached call while I was still training. I was about to take a call, and it was my first one, and I was still tossing up the names, the few ideas I had, and I was like, I guess I just pick one. All right, Dylan, we're going with that. But that's my advisor name. But in fact, my given name is Abby.
We have a couple shout outs already. Francis says Dylan's awesome. Super Emeyer, I think. He said, what's the website called? That's an easy one. You want to take it?
This website?
Yeah.
Well, that is www.crutchfield.com.
There you go. Crutchfield.com. That's where you'll find all of the stuff that Crutchfield sells. You can go to the advisor page. You can see Dylan and all our other advisors. You can purchase there. There's a phone number there. Give us a call. Enrico Joubert, maybe, I don't know. I'm not.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Hi, I am from South Africa. Can you guys still assist me with questions? I'll tell you what, if you ask questions right here, we can certainly answer them. If you call into our contact center, if you can call our 800 number, then they will answer questions, but we can't really ship anything to South Africa. But that doesn't mean we're just gonna give you the cold shoulder. So yeah, give us a call. If you can figure out a way for us to ship a product to someone you know in America, and then they can take it from there, we can still work with that, right? We can kind of make that happen. But Diamond 7092 says Dylan is the best.
Thank you.
Real name is Abby, and you have a YouTube channel.
I do.
Let's
yes.
talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, I do. So not known as Dylan on my YouTube channel, just Abby, or it's actually called Ab Show, which is, you get it, the Ab Show. I'm Abby.
The Abby Show.
The Abby Show. That would be more appropriate, I guess. It was a nickname in high school, is what it was, and people called me Ab Show. Actually, I think it was a Gmail account name. Anyway.
You just gave your old email
Oh,
address?
yeah, my old email. That's
not
what it's called. It's not actually what it's called. But,
Okay,
it's some other stuff. But anyway, golly day.
Yeah.
Man, just give up the ghost.
It's easy.
It's really actually not that. But yeah, it was a nickname in high school, and then it became my YouTube channel name. So I started my YouTube channel about 5 years ago, and I wanted to make some sort of funny, anecdotal videos about just my life and how do I do things, and unique perspective. It's as you might have noticed, I don't appear to be the type of person who can clap. And so actually, that's a laugh line.
Oh, I was giving him a
good.
facial expression reaction, like,
No.
I knew this was coming.
This is going to become
didn't.
a really sad story now. Thanks for joining us.
Oh.
So I just wanted to, so I was born without my hand, and I wanted to create a platform for talking about that, and for encouraging people, especially kids who are like me, and parents of little kids who are raising kids like me who. They just don't know what questions to ask, or have questions and don't know where to get the answers. I do some other stuff in there too, just regular life stuff. But yeah, I mean, I can't clap and can't do monkey bars, and I feel like that gives me a different perspective on life. So that's what I do mainly for my YouTube channel, App Show.
So you kind of show people what life is like with only one hand, and how do you do things like normal everyday things.
Yeah.
Normal everyday things like play the drums.
That's most people do that.
Right?
Yeah. Every other person I see, a drummer. You, a drummer.
I am a drummer. It's two drummers right here.
Two drummers. Don't make it right.
I think people would be interested to know how you play drums with only one hand. And we went ahead and we grabbed one of the videos off of your channel where you kind of show people how you do that.
Awesome.
I think is one of the first videos you put up.
Yeah, I think that's the first one where I introduced my whole drumming method and gave a little example.
Cool.
It was the first one.
Are we ready to play that video? Cool, we've got it queued up. It'll be about 2 minutes. We'll be right back. Go ahead and watch Abby do some drumming.
Play drums with only 5 fingers. But Abby, how do you do stuff? Like, because you only have one arm. So when I was 13, my parents started me in drum lessons, and I thought to myself, well, I have to hold 2 sticks somehow, so naturally I went with duct tape. So you can imagine the look on my teacher's face when I walked into the music store with a stick duct taped to my arm. Actually, he was really cool about it. He just goes, let's get started. Since the duct tape, though, and a lot of lost arm hair, I kind of developed something more permanent and better, and it's this. This is basically a wrist wrap kind of stretchy thing. I've never known what to call it. I have Velcro attached to the end of the stick here, so where I would normally grip the stick with my hand, I have it on the end. It's Velcro tape. And then I put that inside of the strap, and I wrap the strap all the way around. There's Velcro on the end here until it's tight enough. Like that. So then it kind of mimics the movement of a wrist. And I can pretty much just play like that. And drumming has been awesome for me. It's opened up a lot of opportunities to play, to record, to play live, to play in different bands, to play for church. And I love it. It's been a huge blessing in my life. And God bless my brother for putting up with years of noise next to his bedroom door in the basement. So anyway, why don't I show you how I play? And that's it. That's how I play drums with 5 fingers and 2 sticks. Thank you for watching, and if you're curious about how I do something else using only 5 fingers, comment below and I might make the next video to show you.
And we're back. Hopefully that answers your question. How does Abby drum with just one hand? I certainly was wondering, and I have heard some of her other videos on that channel, and I can tell you that she is a better drummer with one hand than I will ever be with 2 hands. And I think I assume you practice a lot.
Yeah, well, I started with lessons. I've been playing for, I don't know, 20 years, which sounds crazy to say. And I've played out and I've played in. And I don't actually have my kit set up at my new apartment, but I did at my previous house. So anyway, I mean, I've played some.
That's a big deal. If you can set your drum set up and not annoy all your neighbors, like if it's a thing you have space for and you can do it without annoying people, you get a lot more practice in.
Oh, I know. And I just need to figure this out so I can do that.
We've got a bunch of great comments coming in from Facebook. Michael says, I just bought a Bluetooth to analog converter. Great, Michael. If you actually have a question about that, please let us know. Bruce says, what a great looking shop, or is it just a set? I can tell you this, Bruce. A long time ago, we used to film Crutchfield videos in our actual install bay here at our headquarters, and it was awful. The sound in that room, it sounded like we were in a dungeon. It was like, or a humongous bathroom. I mean, it just so echoey, and there was nothing you could do about it. This particular place is very well equipped. We do from time to time use the tools and such that you see behind us, mostly to prepare stuff for videos. This is a video set. Right next door is a set that looks like a house. So we're going pro with the video stuff here. Michael also says, Abby is amazing and very talented. Steven from Crutchfield, the retail store here in Charlottesville, says, hey, Dylan, he remembers when you worked there. You're streaming at the retail store, so that's awesome. From YouTube, Dylan is the best. Dylan is the best. Love the Ab Show.
Oh, thank you.
Ashkay says, I recently bought 4 JBL Club 8622F speakers and a JBL Stadium 4. Oh, look, we just happen to have a JBL Stadium 4
Wow.
right
Look
here.
at
We actually just did a video about the JBL Stadium amplifiers, a separate video for their speakers, a separate video for their subs. Your question, any thoughts on the setup? Thanks. Yeah, it's really really good stuff. Well appointed. It's all Class D amplifiers. They're small, they're low profile. They don't produce a lot of heat, so placement options, you can put them anywhere you need. There's a 4-channel, a 5-channel, and 2 different sub amps to choose from. So those stadium amps are great. You really can't go wrong with JBL. In fact, we have some JBL right here. We're gonna have some JBL stuff coming out here in a little bit as well. You sell JBL pretty regularly on the phone?
Absolutely. It runs the gamut, car, home. I think half my family and friend group have this speaker or something like it in similar series. And yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. You in particular wanted to come on this. Uh-oh, the vent turned on and we lost the piece of paper. You're gonna start talking.
It's all good.
Zach's gonna pick it
I
up.
almost caught that too.
I know, that was...
Could have been smooth, but we're
there
live,
we go.
so I can't change that.
That's
in editing.
right. There's some products that you really love talking to our customers about.
Yeah.
Like when they call and say, hey, I need to do this, you're like, yes, it lights up, and you're like,
yeah.
cool, we get to talk about that. The first one being Sonos.
Oh yeah. That's been so fun to talk about since the retail store.
So for those that don't know, can you sum up what Sonos is real quick?
Yeah. So Sonos is basically whole home audio / home theater. Solution. You can call it a total solution, because I get calls all the time and I met people all the time at the retail store basically thinking, is there really such thing as wireless speakers that I can put in every room that can play together and sync together or separately or group in different group zones, whatever you want to call it, and would that really work? And the answer is yeah. Sonos has made it a yes. So you can basically fill your inside the home patio. You can do home theater with the one of the 2 soundbars that Sonos offers, and subwoofer surrounds. And you can with the app control not only like the EQ and setting up, but also putting individual speakers like playing back by themselves or grouping them together. You could have up to 32 Sonos speakers in your home under the same Wi-Fi umbrella, and it works fantastically. As long as you have consistent Wi-Fi coverage, you can basically, the whole house could be lit up with sound, or you could just have a single speaker playing in like your kitchen while you're cooking. Anyway, I could go on and on. I love it.
They really have different solutions for all the different rooms in your house, right? Like this right here is a Sonos Roam. It's a portable. That's a pretty new development for them, but mostly they're speakers you plug into the wall for power, powered speakers. They can integrate with your existing home stereo equipment. They can integrate with just an amplifier that powers a set of speakers. They can power your outdoor speakers. I mean, they have, bring that in. This thing is awesome. This is the Sonos Move. This was their first portable, big, great sound out of this thing, big battery in it, lasts a long time, take it with you. If you're looking for something a little smaller and more portable, that's the Roam right there. But it just sort of shows Sonos's desire to make it possible to play music and control it from your phone anywhere. Certainly in any room of your house, and now anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, with both of these, the Move and the Roam, you can take them away and you can bring them back in, and you've got full integration back in your home system. But like the Roam specifically is, they're both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi supported. So when you're outside of your Wi-Fi network, either with the Roam or the Move, you can still connect via Bluetooth. The playback quality is really nice. With the Roam, I believe this is a new feature from Sonos. When you're connected to your mobile device via Bluetooth, and you come back, if you're out on a trip or a hike or something at the beach, and you come back to your Wi-Fi home network, the Roam will automatically switch from Bluetooth to Wi-Fi as long as it's already been set up under that Wi-Fi network. It's really sweet.
And when you have it at home, you use the Sonos app, and then you can access basically any music service you might subscribe to. And when you're out and about, you just play whatever you want on your phone, pair it to the Roam via Bluetooth, and you're good to go.
Absolutely.
What do you like more? A person who calls and has no idea that Sonos is a thing, right? And you get to sort of explain all of it and reveal all the magic. or a person who has known about Sonos for some length of time and is trying to figure out what's the next thing, because it's one of those things where it builds on itself. You're like, all right, now I need Sonos for the living room. Now I need Sonos for the kitchen. Now I need for the bedroom. Like, what's more fun, talking about somebody expanding a system or revealing what Sonos is for the first time?
Oh, that's a good question. I like the moment when somebody goes, oh, I didn't know there was something out there like that, or I didn't believe something could really work so well. So that kind of tips the scale a little bit for me. Like, I love that first time Sonos discoverer call. And I get really enthusiastic about it. So like, this is what I sound like on the phone. I'm like, well, we can talk about this, and this is how this works, and you can do 32, blah, blah, blah. It's fun. But then there's the, hey, what else can I do call, where I can say, hey, have you ever thought about doing this? Because again, I do this all day, every day, so I think about these things like a lot, and unpack ideas in my own brain throughout the day. So, offering new ideas, configurations, concepts, and stuff like that is pretty cool.
Awesome. We have somebody looking for, you were in a Crutchfield catalog along with some Sonos products. How did that come about?
Well, basically, it was just a question of, hey, do you want to feature, you want to talk about Sonos in the holiday catalog? And I was offered as sort of a opportunity to, jot down some blurbs and answer some questions about what I like about Sonos and why I'm getting so excited about it. So Dylan is in this holiday catalog, which I guess went out like a week or so ago, right? It's also, you can see it online. But I'm holding the Arc, the Sonos Arc big soundbar in the photos in the catalog, but specifically writing about the Beam and 5.1 surround with Sonos.
Do you personally own some Sonos?
It's shameful. I have ambitions. I will. I have sights on owning Sonos, of course. Like, who doesn't want to have that kind of playback capability in their house? But I don't have it yet. I've recently moved, but yes, it's absolutely in the plans.
We've got a couple really cool questions coming in, specifically one about Sonos and Wi-Fi. So Carlos asks, hey, hello, what do you recommend so I can have my Wi-Fi signal in my garage? I presume it's a detached garage and maybe his Wi-Fi doesn't reach all the way out there. There are ways to extend it out there. What would you recommend? So,
and we're talking about just for coverage of connectivity for Sonos. I guess, one thing would be to think about mesh, right? So, but if we're thinking about Sonos in particular,
you can kind of do it two ways, right? Like, you could increase your Wi-Fi in general by using a mesh network, so multiple routers around your house that expand your network. And if you can get that close enough to the garage where you can put another one in the garage, you'll get it expanded out there. Of course, you could wire it, but nobody wants to do that.
Right.
If you're using multiple Sonos pieces, if you can wire any one of them hardwired into your actual router, then the Sonos products will create their own mesh network that's just for Sonos. So all the Sonos network will get bigger if you can do it that way. So there's definitely a way to improve your Wi-Fi, either in general or specifically the Sonos Wi-Fi.
Yeah, absolutely.
They call it Sonos Net.
Sonos Net.
Yeah. You might want to look at getting a Sonos Boost. It will also help make your Wi-Fi perform better. All right, here's another one. And this one has nothing to do with Sonos. Mike R. says, Dylan, try electronic drums. I have a set and my wife works from home and she doesn't hear them at all.
Yeah, that actually, you know what? That is a consideration, thank you. Yeah, I definitely would consider that now that I mentioned I live in an apartment, got neighbors, so probably gonna have to turn to that, honestly, because it's driving me nuts not to be able to play a lot. Really, I mean, it just starts to get the itch, and then I see my drum set stacked up in the corner. I'm like, that's not how that's supposed to be. It looks cool, but Anyway.
Is this the catalog with you in it?
Yes.
Page 14.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think they might have marked it for us.
Well, how brilliant.
Sure enough. So there's the it's the holiday catalog, page 14. You'll see Dylan with the Sonos Arc, and you wrote most of these thoughts about Sonos. Is that right?
Well, yeah. So it basically is just a quick couple blurbs, thoughts on the 5.1 system with the you'd pair like this is the Sonos Beam with a couple of surrounds and perhaps also adding a subwoofer, the Sonos Sub. Wanted to mention, I always love mentioning the fact that this system comes in black and white. Most of the Sonos products, black or white.
Yep.
This one is white, fits in real nice with the catalog, the holiday sort of scheme. But yeah, so this is really fun to talk about and to share with everybody this holiday season.
Sweet. So that's Dylan in the catalog. All right, let's move on because you wanted to talk about some other stuff here as well. We've got some other stuff on display. Let's talk about these headphones for a little bit.
Yeah.
These are the Sony XM4s.
Yes, the Sony XM4s. They were the successor of the XM3s, which were also fantastic headphones by Sony. Noise canceling, of course, and all sorts of beautiful features that makes the listening experience awesome. So my experience with the XM3s were when we first had the shutdown and had to be taking extra precautions for cleaning and such. At the retail store, we had a bunch of headphones to demo. And just hanging on the wall so folks could demo it. Well, we're deep cleaning the store, making sure that at the time we had to make sure everything was extra safe and still do. But so I had to wipe down the headphones and then clean the whole store. And then I decided I was like, we're cleaning, we're spending time here. There's no customers coming in and out, so I put a pair of the XM3s on. And I was just jamming out, like just listening to music as I'm cleaning and doing stuff. And I was like, holy cow, these are fantastic. And like I'm a drummer, I've used plenty of headphones and earbuds and all sorts of stuff, in-ear monitors. And I was just like, for Bluetooth headphones, the clarity, the bass response, the richness, the sound staging, all of it was there. And I was like, I don't think that I ever really, I don't think I'll go back. And then the XM4s came out, which was earlier this year, right? And even more. There's some improvements, and now I own a set of those. So I use them for drumming, I use them for running, I use them for dish doing.
So these are noise canceling headphones, and I have worn them. Actually, we've got the video showing right now of you playing your drums with the Sony headphones on.
Yeah.
How do you use them for drumming? Are you using noise canceling so the drums aren't super loud for you, or are you doing something else?
Yeah, both, but I would say probably more often than not, I will go ahead and toggle the noise canceling off. And for the purpose of feeling like I can get the feel, the dynamics, I know what volume I'm playing at, so that I would play back a little bit more naturally if I were practicing for performance of some kind. But if it's just time to just cardio drumming, just blast, play some heavy rock or whatever, I'll turn the noise canceling on and just play super loud.
What's your favorite music to play?
Well, for practice, it's when nobody's listening and there's nothing going on, I can just do whatever I want to do. It'd be funk.
Okay.
So, because it's like got that real chill tempo.
Yeah.
And just you can kind of opens up a lot of opportunity to groove, especially the hi-hats, like really groove and like move with it. I love that. But mainly my experience would be in like alternative rock and rock type beats genre, 4/4, a lot of 4/4, and
Got it.
I would say we have similar experience in terms of gigging. Is that right? Doing like rock band shows and stuff?
Yeah, I play in a rock band.
Yeah.
We haven't been gigging much lately, but right. We have played a few shows, and so we play original rock, some bluesy stuff. Lately, we've been starting to rock a little harder, which is making me very happy.
Yeah.
In fact, the theme song for this show and the Crutchfield the podcast is one of my band songs.
Sweet.
So
that's awesome.
Do you have any original music?
Yeah, I was in a band with some good friends a few years ago, and we did an album, and it actually can be found on iTunes and Spotify. We recorded a whole album in studio, and I love how it turned out. It's called Eidolwylde, but it's hard. It's E-I-O-D or Eidolwylde.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, but can be found on I think Spotify and iTunes. And yeah, so I think it's a 10-track album recorded with some of my best friends, and best friend's the songwriter and guitarist, and then it just was a fun group, fun mix.
All right, we didn't prepare the video team for this, but I'm going to try to make it happen anyway.
Okay.
Spell that for me one more time.
E-I-D. O-L-W.
Y.
There it is.
There it is.
So probably
Yeah, pick a song,
just
any
the
song.
top one, I guess. The
Crimson Thread?
Sure.
All right, so we had the speaker queued up earlier. We're good to go to try and play it again. So this is your original music, so nobody's going to sue us for playing music on our show, right? Good, so...
Cool.
I gave it all to show you
Might want to skip a little bit. It grows.
wanted you to know that I would never give. And I could hear your voice from outside the walls of time.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime we can play music on this show,
Heck
I'm going
yeah.
to make it happen. That's great. So were you singing too, or are you drumming? Or
Just drumming.
Just drumming?
Yeah, yeah.
Singing and drumming is
Yep.
not so easy. Cool. So let's move on to the last product you wanted to talk about, which is this Kicker KS speaker here. As far as car speakers go, this seems to be one of your favorites to sell and talk about. Why? What makes Kicker KS speakers so good?
Oh yeah, it's got to be probably the speaker series I sell the most of, because I have found it carries, it's got to be some of the best value in car speakers. How I always describe it to folks is that you've got the quality of some what could be considered higher end speakers without having to pay that price. So it all has to do with power handling, with sensitivity, with the material of the cone, and these particular have rubber surround silk dome tweeters, which of course is a nice buzz phrase for.
Well, that silk. I mean, the Kicker's got several lines of speakers, right? The DS, the CS, and the KS. It kind of builds up.
Yeah.
And the KS is that first one where you get the silk dome tweeter, which definitely sounds smoother, warmer, more musical.
Yeah.
It's a much nicer tone.
Absolutely, and fortunately I have the experience at the retail store where we have a listening room for car audio, and so I was able to many times demo A versus B versus C in different configurations, different speaker series, and oftentimes I would say, hey, listen to this. These KS speakers, depending on the vehicle, there's all kinds of different sizes that they make these in, so that they pretty much, I mean, it's hard to find a common vehicle that it's.
I don't know if you can see this.
Fit.
That's a pretty rare size. Like, they're one of the few companies that still make a 4x10.
Yeah.
So if you got a Pontiac Fiero, Kicker KS all the way.
All the way.
But yeah, they're available in all the sizes. We have a shout out from Nicholas Hoffman. I have a pair of KS and I love them. That's on YouTube. A few minutes ago, I should have done this when we were talking about the headphones, but Gary says the XM4s are great.
Yes.
So the comments are coming in. Thank you, people, for watching. But yeah, those KS. Do you have any in your car? Have you installed them yet?
That would be another
Oh,
on the
gosh.
table ambition. Yeah, so I have, of course, working for Crutchfield, I have a list this long of things I want to get and grow into eventually. But yeah, the KS are super impressive. I definitely. I'm like, well, just basically paired with the right amp, a good amp, they can really sing. And I try not to lean too much and go straight to KS, but I've just heard them, like I was saying before, demoing back and forth between other speakers, perhaps more expensive speakers, and just hearing the difference or the differences. I'm like, wow, I'm super impressed, super clear, super accurate. I kind of like that warm feel that they give. But powerful, super, a lot of wattage handling.
Well, I'll make up for your lack of KS speakers in your car. I have two cars, and both of them have Kicker KS speakers powered by an amplifier. And I listen to everything from podcasts to show tunes to heavy metal. Yeah. And they do not miss a beat. They're awesome. Yeah. So they are fantastic. Also, big shout out to Kicker in general. We love Kicker as a company. I have their products in both of my vehicles. and they give us a lot of support. They're one of the really a good company to deal with. They want to make their speakers fit more cars. They've worked with us in our database so that they can figure out what size speakers need to be to fit more cars. They're also doing some really fun live programming as well. They call it Kicker Unmasked. If I'm not mistaken, it's on every Tuesday at 7:30 Central Time because they're in Stillwater, Oklahoma, if I remember correctly. So they're coming at you tonight. So if you wanted to check out Kicker Unmasked, big shout out to them. It'd be kind of cool if we teamed up, like if our live and their live somehow joined forces. Maybe, I don't know. It's an idea that might happen someday.
Be awesome.
How
Really
cool would
cool.
that be? Did you mention that KS has a 2-year warranty?
Oh yeah, so I believe the only series, Kicker series that we carry or at all offers a 2-year warranty. So you're extra covered for whatever could possibly happen. You're extra covered by Kicker. Really fantastic extra bonus for why these speakers kind of stand out.
Yep. Dylan, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for
I know you were
having me.
nervous coming in. How do you feel now?
Oh, good. Yeah,
Right?
yeah, a little jitters, first time jitters, but yeah, feel great.
Awesome.
Thanks, JR.
Well,
It's
thank
been
you
fun.
so much. You going to hang out with us, watch the rest of the
Oh
show?
yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
All right.
Thank you so
thanks.
much.
Thanks.
While Dylan is making her exit, we're going to bring in Dave Delamere, and he is one of our writers. He spends his time writing sales copy. I shouldn't call it sales copy.
It's okay.
Sounds,
forgive me, I hope.
yeah, in this jargon. We got comments coming in too. You were nervous about following Dylan, and now we know why. But
Tough show. I mean, tough act to
you're
follow.
going to be fine.
Okay, thank
You're
you.
going to be fine. But there is some comments coming in from the stuff we were just talking about. Mirandy1 says, Kicker is the best bang for the buck.
I
Tough
would
to
agree
argue
with
with
that.
that.
Yeah, right.
Let's see, Shiloh Lysech, I hope I'm saying that right. Dylan sold me my ATH-M40X studio headphones for music production. They are amazing, and she was great. So an actual customer who has talked to Dylan is endorsing her. That's awesome. Philly3099 says, how do you rate the Kicker Comp R T8 subs? I'm doing a project on my Harley and will install a sub inside the saddlebags of my bike.
Ambitious.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Kicker is all about making speakers and amps and stuff that will work on your Harley. And so if there's any speaker that can do it, they would. I don't know that one is made specifically, rugged enough for the Harley. They definitely have solutions for you though. But yeah, I think you certainly should consider it. You might want to call one of our advisors and talk specifics with them. They can give you dimensions. They can help you plan it out and figure out if that's what you want to do. From Facebook, Doug says, "Sup,
Sup, Doug?
sup, Doug." Dave, why are you here today?
Great question.
I told you I was the master of segues.
Yeah, that was smooth.
Yeah.
Just finished up a demo with Sony Mobile ES gear, including the 9500 ES, which you mentioned at the beginning, the
Yeah.
big 10-inch floating screen receiver.
Yep.
Got a lot of feedback just recently about it, and I also had a pair of ES components connected to it so they could listen to it as well.
So a few Crutchfield Live shows ago, we talked about Sony Mobile ES, how it's coming back.
That's right.
We had that same exact head unit that you've been showing off. We had it here. In fact, there's some video of your setup there on the demo days. So it was just set up like in a conference room
Yeah.
at the contact center so advisors could just come check it out whenever they wanted.
We knew they were busy, so I knew they wouldn't have a lot of time to do it, but if they had a break, they'd come in and just give it a quick whirl.
And so the head unit was working. They could pair it up to their phone, and they could play music. And you had the Mobile ES speakers.
That's right. And really easy pairing. I wasn't sure I was going to set it up that way in terms of letting the advisors come in and set up their own phones.
Their
but
own phone.
It was so easy. Why not?
Yep.
Let them dig into the menus and find out what it's all about. And you always get more confident talking to customers about things like that when you actually have your hands on it.
When
which is
you've
the whole
pushed the buttons and used the display, listened to the speakers, it definitely helps you talk knowledgeably about the stuff. And that's why you do what you do.
Exactly. Speaking of buttons, segue.
We have somebody else that's pretty good at segues. Yeah, you got some feedback on this radio?
Got some feedback on the radio, most of it positive, some concerns. The controls, the tactile controls on the outside bezel were a little tough to navigate or get to or even see. The markings for them were a little dim, if you will.
Okay.
They didn't really light up.
Yep.
So if you're in a dark car at night, that could be an
Well,
issue.
they're kind of right on top.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And I remember, now I haven't used it in a car yet. I've used it literally right here on this table.
Right, and as you saw in the room, that was
Yeah,
well
and-
lit.
Exactly. So it seems like they're easy to find, like just by the touch on the top of that thing. And they are all on the top. You got that home button, their volume buttons, things like that. But I think there's some strong opinions about volume knobs out there.
I think so too. Yeah, and as we got some comments, we noticed definitely
did.
some strong opinions. Yeah.
And that was actually the inspiration for our poll question today. Have you seen the results for our poll question yet?
Why no, JR? I have not.
You want to hear them?
Yes, please.
The question was, for aftermarket radios, what type of volume control do you prefer? They had 3 choices: volume knobs, steering wheel controls, or up and down buttons. One of those answers got 0. Up,
0.
down buttons. Nobody wants up, down buttons.
Nobody wants to toggle, huh?
Steering wheel controls comes in second place at 38%. Volume knob, number 1 at 61%.
It's
of
pretty
the
healthy.
votes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which echoes what a lot of our advisors noticed this. Todd from YouTube, we have a video about this this radio that is, I don't know if going viral is the right term. It's like 170,000 or so views right now.
We'll go with
a lot of comments on it. One of them, Todd, says, there will never be a time when a volume knob is not a superior control than anything else. Make your customers happy. Bring back knobs.
Even voice control?
I mean, right? I tell you, Todd, I couldn't agree more.
I'm
Big
in
fat
agreement as well.
volume knobs are awesome.
Easy to find.
Yeah.
That's the main thing while you're driving, right? If you're
Yep.
looking for where the volume is and you want to whip that thing up like that. Yeah.
Tactile, easy to find, easy to control without taking your eyes off the road.
Exactly.
I put a Sony in my truck because it had a volume knob. However, once I did that, I found myself using steering wheel controls more even than the knob.
And I think that 38%, I think it was, for steering wheel controls
Yep.
makes a lot of sense because people get used to having that. It's kind of when I was shopping for cars years ago, it was a newfangled thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you get used to it being there, and I have it in my Subaru as well, and because I don't have a volume on my Kenwood, sorry. But
That's okay.
the steering wheel controls work great.
Let's see, we got a couple other comments on that YouTube video. Pop-Tart Destroyer says, I understand the quality of the audio in this product and their emphasis for sound quality. Bingo. Like, you found that to be the case,
Definitely
right?
went after it. They even have a vinyl setting in the sound settings, in the equalizer settings, so you can emulate LPs
Yeah.
if you want using your sound. But
Makes it sort of warmer, less digital, perfect, right?
kind of smooths that out a little bit.
Yep. But the fact that it isn't a multimedia unit is a bit disappointing, considering this is Sony's only Maestro iDatalink compatible head unit. The exclusion of an HDMI input and multimedia is a bummer. Well,
Sorry.
it's just not that. Sony didn't design this as a video head unit. It's not there to play Netflix or movies on USBs or DVDs. It's there to be a sonic heaven, right? I mean, it's there to make
Yeah.
great sound.
The stress was there for that, also ease of use.
Yeah, the big screen isn't about video performance. It's about ease of use.
Absolutely. Digging in the menus took me a couple of seconds, and I try to approach it when I set things up for demo days as a customer would. I actually read the manuals, I really do, and go
Wait,
through.
what?
I know, crazy talk. But I go through and try to set up, and if there are stumbling points, I note them for some of the reviews I do for advisors. But in most cases, you can get through the menu system very easily on this Sony, and that's why I also allowed them to set up their own phones.
Yeah.
Just seemed like the right thing to do.
We actually have a comment coming in here on YouTube. Nicholas Hoffman says, I'm looking for a new head unit with a floating screen, iDatalink, and of course, Android Auto 2. What would you recommend? Thank you. So there's a bunch to choose from.
Definitely.
You'll want to think about things like wired versus wireless Android Auto. Wireless is kind of nice so that you don't always have to plug your phone in, but it does cost a little bit more to get that.
Costs a little more, and make sure you have a charger of some sort.
Yeah, you're still going to want, the long
the
trips, you're
battery
going to
will
want
get
to plug
drained.
that phone in
Absolutely.
for sure. iDatalink Maestro compatibility. We mentioned that this Sony, the 9500, is one of the only Sonys that has iDatalink Maestro. Can you sort of talk about why that's important?
Sure. iDatalink Maestro is an interface that's available for many cars, and what it can do for you is not only create the wiring connections between the new stereo and your car's wiring, but it also helps integrate systems that are already integrated perhaps into a vehicle. That will change per vehicle. But the systems I'm talking about are steering wheel controls. Some of them offer climate controls. Some of them will give you diagnostics of your vehicle right on screen. And imagine that on a 10-inch Sony.
Yeah.
Seeing the dials go nuts. I mean, if you're into that thing,
Yep.
it's a no-brainer.
If it's in your car's computer, it can basically be displayed on an iDatalink Maestro compatible radio.
Absolutely. And even the steering wheel controls can be reprogrammed for things you use most often or how you want to use your steering wheel controls.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a great interface.
Yeah, so I think the answer here is there's a lot to choose from. There's also radios that aren't going to quite fit the bill, and it's one of the reasons you can go to Crutchfield.com and select as a filter on the list of all the car stereos, iDatalink Maestro compatible, so that you can weed out all the radios that don't have that very important connection on the back. And what you're going to be left with is the big name brands, Pioneer, Kenwood, JVC, Alpine, now as Sony, and there's some brands that really don't interface with Maestro at all. So once you're there, and then you can also use the filters to find a floating screen, and you can go 8, 9, 11 inches on those screens. And there's going to be some to choose from. Of course, inventory's tough on them right now.
A little tough.
But I would say if you do that, then I would go start looking at customer reviews and see which one, what people are liking, which ones have the right features for you.
Sure, don't forget the volume knob filter too. We
Oh,
actually have that
volume
on
knob, and there's
Yeah.
also an in-stock filter. So
Right.
the filters on the website have become really helpful. And this reminds me, there was a question earlier that I did not answer that now might be a good time to answer it. It was just about when's it coming in stock. It was a question about a particular radio. There it is. Good afternoon, JR. What do you think? When do you think aftermarket radios like the Kenwood DNR 1007XR will come in stock? Thanks.
It's a great question. I'm actually a writer for a lot of the Kenwood and JVC radios, so
Yeah.
you're kind of talking to the right person because I'm in direct contact with one of our buyers, Stephen. And he really has his finger on the pulse of what's going on. And there have been some delays. We are starting to see some arrival dates within the next couple of weeks for some stereos from Kenwood and JVC, but nothing concrete on the model that you mentioned, unfortunately, and some of them are getting pushed back a little bit. It's just the way things are these days, unfortunately.
I was just going to
You
look.
checking
and
it out?
see. Yeah,
I
let
do
me
know
see
that
if we have
Sony
any.
was in stock.
Yeah, the
last time I-
9500 that was part of your demo day is now in stock. That was the biggest question we got on it when we were talking about that, because it was not in stock at the time. So, yeah, this would actually be a fine choice for
Sure would.
Nicholas, who asked that question. This is a great radio. Look at that big volume
There's a
knob,
big
too.
volume knob right in the center.
Yeah, and it's a big floating touchscreen. It's my iDatalink Maestro, Android Auto and CarPlay, wired and wireless. It's fantastic. The reviews are great on it, especially when you consider that it's not the cheapest radio we sell.
No.
Look at that, 36 reviews. I mean, people that put this radio in love it. Temporarily out of stock with no ship date unknown. So your guess is as good as ours when we get through this, the shipping crisis, the supply chain issues and all of that. If we knew, we would tell you. And when we do know, we'll put a little thing right there on the website that tells you our ETA. And once we know, maybe you'll be able to place an order for it. And as soon as you can, do it. Place a pre-order for it. That will get you yours as fast as humanly possible.
Let me give a little shout out to iDatalink too. I work with their tech support several times when doing some installations for articles or for demo days. Fantastic tech
Nice.
support. When our folks couldn't quite get an answer or didn't know the models as well as iDatalink did, they were amazing. So
Hey, I just thought of something. You set up demo days for advisors, and in the video, when I went over there to film some video of it, there wasn't any advisor. They were all busy on the phones. Dylan's an advisor. What do you think? Did she get to go in and see the demo day? And if so, what did she think of the Sony radio and the Sony? Dylan, are you still here?
Here.
Come on in.
Hey, hey.
There's probably space between us here.
Cool, cool. Yeah. Oh, hey.
Does this work for sound? Can you hear her okay?
Hi. Yes. Testing.
Right on.
Can
Did
you hear me if I don't speak?
There are stools back there if you want to grab one. So I figured, why not? Let's see if Dylan got to check out the demo day, and probably not just the Sony demo day. Do you get to come in and see a lot of those, or
Yeah.
you work from home?
I
though,
work from
right?
home, but no, I have a few times. And so, yeah, I've experienced
you.
demo days several times. Most recently, the Sony, and it's a very cool setup we got in there. We've got, wish you could see it. It's two speakers that are sort of like wired. How would you describe that?
Sloppily.
Oh no, I was gonna say it's like built into speaker boxes and there's different components and.
Yeah, they were 6x9s, right? Like a
Right.
6x9 box with an oval hole in it.
I
and
put the
then-
same bracket that we send customers to
Yeah.
adapt a 6x9 or a 6.5 speaker to a 6x9 slot, and I just kind of makeshift the tweeters with.
Yeah, the
some-
tweeter was just kind of
noticed
hanging
that.
on there.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I need to make something else.
Yeah.
I'm
I
working
mean,
on it.
it was
They
more
produce
important to get it
sound.
set up and listening. And yeah, so how did you think they sounded?
It sounded fine. I was admiring the handiwork. It was you
appreciate
could say
that. You're very kind.
Yeah,
Too kind.
absolutely. That was a fun part of it. But I got to play with the stereo a little bit and wirelessly connect my phone for Apple CarPlay. I use an iPhone and messed around with some settings to see what I could do. And for my first impression, of course, and you can kind of tell from the product photo, is that how sleek is that home screen with the analog clock?
Analog clock.
Yeah.
Huge.
So
And-
elegant and beautiful.
So elegant, yes.
Yes.
It reminds me of a cologne commercial. But Sony.
That's a high endorsement right there.
I
No.
think.
But it's very cool looking. The first impression is that, and Sony screens are like this. I feel like Sony screens they've figured something out with those over the years. It has a special sauce, and so of course this didn't disappoint. It's the same type of experience. Big, beautiful Sony screen. I was pondering the bezel because I know that some folks don't prefer there be a wide bezel. However, as I was handling it, no pun intended. I was like, I appreciated it because, like, for a person like me, I'm driving on the road, and if I have to reach over to do something to control playback or whatever I'm doing, and we're in motion, it's better to have not so much room for error. Mm-hmm. As an argument, I mean, maybe one day the whole screen will be completely filled out. We're in 2021, but in terms of room for error, as things are bouncing around and stuff, if you're trying to precisely control something as you're driving and not be dangerous. It's nice to have something to handle, and then also plenty of handling, like kind of wide thickness at the top for those, like the volume control. And
That's great because there was actually a lot of comments on the YouTube video. People did not seem to like the idea that there was a thick,
Your
black
neck-
area around the screen that was seemingly unusable.
Your next guest is one of them. Yeah. So
Yeah?
he didn't care for it too much.
Oh, you didn't like it? Oh, we'll see what
devil's
he thinks.
advocate.
Yeah.
That's
that's a
honestly,
great point.
It's,
So I'm just picturing, right? Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that as a benefit of the bezel, right? Like I could take my hand and put it on my thumb on the bezel with my finger on the top of that screen to hit the volume or the home button, and my thumb is on the screen, not hitting anything important or pausing the music or making anything happen that I didn't want
Changing
to
the
happen.
setting. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a positive spin on the big bezel, which in all likelihood next year there won't be a big bezel, right? Because
Probably.
that's the trend. Is
get it while you can.
They'll put an XBR
The
on
big
there.
bezel.
How long did it take you to pair the phone
Yeah.
to the receiver?
A minute.
Yeah. It's
it
not
was
bad, is
the
it?
pairing. Yeah, super seamless. Yeah.
Very cool.
We have some questions. I got you here. I don't know if I need you to answer these questions, but we're going to see what happens. Power NDN 5000 says, speaking of playing movies and video on head units, in your guys' opinion, which head unit plays the highest resolution video?
Phew.
I'm going to go Kenwood on this.
I'm thinking Kenwood or JVC.
Kenwood,
Yeah.
they've even got an HD level backup camera, which looks fantastic, like crystal clear backup images on their screens, and they're not doing an HD backup camera without making the screen capable of giving you that resolution. So for my money, that's the best looking screen I've seen.
It's pretty fantastic. I would agree. Yeah.
Hi guys, are your products available to me in South Africa? I think we might have had that question already.
Maybe.
Not really. That's the answer. We, if you go back to the earlier part of the video, we talked about that more in depth.
All kinds of factors involved there for now.
On Facebook, Jeff asks, can you get just steering wheel controls adapters for an 06 Toyota Sequoia? I already have new stereo and an amp bypass harness installed with sound ordnance components in the doors.
Nice.
Yeah, I want stereo controls and don't need an amplifier interface. Is there a cheap adapter for steering wheel controls only? So the answer is going to be very specific to your car and to the radio you have chosen to put in there. I don't have all of that information. I would suggest that in all likelihood, there is an adapter for the vehicle, will it work with your radio is a question. I would suggest you call in, talk to one of our advisors, and ask them that exact same question, and they can give you a very quick, easy answer. And you'll either be, buying a steering wheel control adapter, or there maybe isn't an option. So get in touch with them, and they can tell you. Carlos, great job. This is for Abby. Thanks, great job on the drums. One more question. How can I put a subwoofer on my car? Is there a simple way to just 1 amp for the radio and amp? What do you recommend? Oh my gosh. What do you recommend, David?
Yes, I recommend it highly.
Recommend. Do a sub.
Yeah.
For sure.
Powered sub is probably the simplest way to get an amp and a sub together, and it's all one package.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's a lot to choose from. More and more every day, it seems like. Powered subs, and you can get them in all shapes and sizes. Small ones that'll go into your seat, round ones that are like a tube, kind of similar to this speaker, like bazooka tubes. Big ones with 2 12s in it and stuff. So yeah, lots of choices. Do you get that kind of question on the phones?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Are you helping people put bass in their cars on a regular basis?
Regular basis, yes, I do.
Like serious bass, like Kendall wanted?
Yeah, serious
Okay,
bass.
good.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Serious, non-serious, medium serious.
Yeah.
We do all levels of bass.
Awesome. Let's see. Do we have any more to talk about here, David? I
don't think so. You had a comment at the beginning of this show about Kanto and...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you. Kanto and Yamo Studio Series speakers.
Thank you for that. I think that's going to be a great demo. We'll set that up, and hopefully we can get that on a future episode potentially.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we really do take feedback like that, and we try to do stuff with it. So it'll at the very least get a demo day, which means we'll probably talk about it on a live at some point.
Yeah, sounds good.
And maybe it'll turn into a bigger product spotlight video as well. So
sounds good. Yeah.
David, Dylan, Abby.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming in. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm going to kick you guys out and bring in our last guest. And let's see, are there any more comments? Nope, that's it for now. So our next guest, you may recognize his voice if you listen to Crutchfield, the podcast.
That's right.
He says that. That is his job, is to agree with me by saying that's right after everything I say on Crutchfield, the podcast.
Maybe not everything, but yes, I do agree with you a lot.
Should we get this stuff out of your way?
Sure, we can. I mean, these are some great products.
They are.
So, but I'm bringing up some other fun ones.
Beautiful.
And yeah.
What do you got here? Oh, well, so
yeah, sure.
let's get. So this is Eric. Eric from the Crutchfield, the podcast, my co-host. We work together on a daily basis.
We do.
And we have a lot of fun. Today, the reason you're here on this show, it's December 14th. So what? 11 days till Christmas.
That's right.
Not
right
a
around
whole
the
lot.
corner.
Yeah, not a ton of shopping days left, and we thought might make some sense to do some last-minute Christmas gift ideas.
I like that. A lot of people have been holding out for that special gift, and it's probably stuck on a ship off the coast of California. So what is in stock? What can we get our hands on?
So everything you're
that's
going to
fun?
talk to us about today is currently in stock.
As of this minute.
As
yes.
of like today, right? We checked
That's
before
right.
we did this.
We did check.
And in stock, and a lot of it will be on sale,
Yeah.
and a lot of it is a really cool gift idea. What do you want to talk about first?
So, well, you kind of led with this at the beginning of the show, right?
Is that the Xtreme 3?
Yeah, from JBL. Cool thing about this, the larger models that JBL makes for Bluetooth speakers, larger than this, all sold out, all gone. All get great reviews.
Those are the ones that are more boombox sized, right?
Yeah, there's a boombox, there's the party speaker. This guy, still in stock, has a lot of bass at a more compact size. So, I like it.
I can tell you, I have been using one of these on a daily basis for the past month or two.
There you go.
We have one. I've been in a show, in a musical production, and in rehearsals, rather than setting up the entire theater's PA system.
Yeah.
Our musical director plays music on her computer to one of these speakers, and that is loud enough for everybody in the theater to hear the music and know when their lines are supposed to happen. It's incredible how well it fills a very large space. Now, obviously, it wouldn't be good enough for an audience, but if you can use it there, you can certainly use it at the beach or with you anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, and I often say it takes space to make bass. That's it. That's the one. We'll redo that. We'll take We'll do that.
Take
shot.
two,
Take,
yeah.
take two.
This is live.
Oh, okay. So it takes space to make bass, and
Nicely
the bigger,
done.
thanks. The bigger the speaker, the more bass. But I always have felt that JBL kind of, hits above their weight class as far as that size to bass ratio. So this guy does a good job of it. Another cool thing about them, you can pair them to two, get stereo going within their app. We actually have a cool video that's out there where, it was me. Yeah,
that's right.
I paired 100 Bluetooth speakers of theirs all at one time, filled a room with a lot of sound. So, flexible, comes in different sizes. This is, like I said before, the largest we have is still in stock, but a lot of smaller ones too.
Very
So,
cool. I've watched that video. You moved really fast.
It
only took you like 2 minutes to pair all those.
A lot of
all those
coffee,
speakers
twice
together.
as much coffee as I've had today. So.
Before you move on, I just don't want to miss these comments that are coming in. Power NDN 5000 is back just to simply say, you guys are awesome. Happy holidays, Crutchfield team. Thank you so much.
you.
Sibling, my contacts are blurry, I think says sibling, says single DIN units with optical is what we wanted. Yeah. Optical is not super common in car audio, and I think people wanted that on the Sony. I think I saw some
I could see
comments
that.
on that on the Sony Mobile ES, since it is a high-end audio sort of file grade head unit.
Maybe use an external DAC or something.
Yeah,
That'd be
like an
neat.
optical out to go to a processor in a digital form, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's no doubt in my mind that Sony has probably seen those comments and can certainly take that feedback.
Yeah.
And there is not a lot of choice in the world of single DINs radios with optical digital outputs.
Yeah.
There's few and far between. All right, cool. What do we got next?
So how about some headphones?
I like it.
Yeah. So
Are those Bose?
These are Bose.
I have
and
a little box in my backpack that looks a little case.
Yeah,
that looks
these are
just
their
like that.
sport earbuds. So two things I really like about these. Number one, they're in stock. Number two, they're on sale. That's pretty cool right before Christmas. So we actually do carry, let's get these things open here. We also have the step-up model from these, which are the step-up model be the Quiet Comforts. Those are also on sale right now and in stock. So
these sport headphones
yeah.
are not noise canceling. They're just really good at staying in your ears,
Right,
and not getting damaged by sweat and all
have
that
some
stuff.
water resistance. Yeah, exactly.
The Bluetooth on them is 5.1, works really, really good.
There you go.
And yeah, they're normally $179 on sale for $149 right
People love them. One of the things I made sure when I brought all these things out, I guess this is new, but we'll get to that in a minute. These guys are very well reviewed by our customers. They get them, they keep them, they don't come back, so we know they like them for all these products here.
And since they're on sale, we don't have a picture of them, or we don't have them live in the studio, but these,
Yeah.
those are the sport ones.
Yep.
If you want the ones with noise canceling, the Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds normally will run you $280, worth every penny. Heck of a deal at $199 right now.
And Bose knows some stuff about noise canceling, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They kind of invented
They
that.
did.
Yeah.
They really did. And they're in stock. So again, everything we're talking about right now, in stock, you could buy it right now.
Yes.
And if everybody watching does, then people won't be able to.
Right.
But
Well, I guess that's a risk.
until
huh?
we get more in. But yeah, so the Bose True Sport earbuds.
Yep.
I can tell you, I have run a marathon with Bose earbuds in my ear. I mow my grass regularly with Bose Quiet Comforts in my ear, the in-ears, and they do not fall out. They stay put in my ears better than any other true wireless headphones I've ever had.
There you go. First-hand experience. That's what the people are here for.
Yeah,
Right there.
that's why we're
awesome.
here.
That's it. Cool.
Cool. What
so-
else you got?
So this guy here, it kind of looks like an old-fashioned radio.
Yep.
It's kind of because it is an old-fashioned AM/FM radio. It's from Tivoli. This time of year, it seems to always be a popular product for us. It's got a really cool. One of the things I love about it is actually just the overall feel. The knobs on it. We talked about knobs earlier, right?
People love big knobs.
People like knobs. This thing has a very solid feel to it. And the AM/FM tuner on these radios from Tivoli are some of the best in the industry.
Yeah.
Like better than other like well-known brands as far as the AM/FM tuner, this thing can pick up stations where other radios just can't.
And you have super fine tuning ability, so you can
Exactly.
really dial in and separate one station from another, and to get exactly the radio station you're looking for. Nice, an actual antenna on the back, like a a lot of. Wow.
Right?
Right. You got to have one of those if you're going to get good radio reception. People seem to love this. 110 customer reviews, 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah. I call it an old-fashioned radio, but the truth is they do some pretty special things to make their AM/FM tuner as sensitive as it is. So really good product. I think it'd be awesome in a kitchen. So.
Yep. And in addition to being able to play the radio, it does have a mini jack line level input so
And
that you
output.
and an output, so that you can record radio onto another device. Not like we did when we were kids, but an actual audio connection to a recording device.
I've actually had a customer buy one of these, go into an amp to go into nice speakers because the fancy AM/FM tuners from other companies, they just weren't pulling in the signal, and this guy was able to do it. So it's a really nice product.
Oh, I bet you don't know the answer to this one. I'm going to see if I can find the answer, but you're going to talk about it while I do.
Okay.
I think he's specifically talking about the Tivoli.
Okay.
Does it have a ferrite magnet to help with station receiving? Come on. You got this, Eric. Does it?
So the thing about that is, cool. Thanks for putting me on the spot there.
Yeah. I didn't know the answer.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I know that, going back, trying to think of my old Henry Kloss brand story for these Tivoli radios.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a ferrite magnet. That is a very specific question that I wish I had a laptop in front of me to answer for you.
Yeah, so there's...
We might have to get back to you on that one.
Might have to. We will research it. I would think if it did, they probably would have something about that in our details page on our website, where we sort of write about everything we know about a product.
Right.
And that word is not on that page, so I
No,
just did the old.
That's a first for me.
Control-F.
I've never heard that question before.
we'll
Now I
see.
want to know the answer.
Let's assume the answer's no. If we find out differently, we'll post up about it.
There we go.
Sangean Radio has a 200 millimeter magnet for increased AM reception. What technology does that radio have for increased reception?
Ooh, people coming in with the questions about the Tivoli.
Yes, they are. So internal and external antennas. That's one thing. Let's see. Also connecting to television.
The fine tuning.
Yeah, I really think it's the fine tuning. And they are still using the Henry Kloss analog AM and FM tuner, which is sort of the cream of the crop as far as radio reception goes. You know why we're stumbling on this?
Because we don't know.
Well, there's not a ton of people listening to the radio anymore, and if you are, this is perfect because it really does well.
Yeah. First-hand experience with this, I can tell you, here in the Charlottesville area of Virginia, there's mountains in and around us, and I have personally sold this to folks that have had issues pulling in reception, at their house, and they've kept these guys because it worked for them. So,
cool.
There you go.
All right, that's the Tivoli Audio Model One in stock, currently $179.99.
We wanted to talk quickly about Sennheiser products, some headphones of theirs. You may have someone in your family who, as we get older, sometimes we lose the ability to understand speech, particularly coming from a television, right? Sennheiser's known about this for a long time. They have a number of products with the technology they call speech intelligibility. These headphones that you're pulling up here, the RS-175s, we tried to get a pair, but they're so popular, we decided not to steal a pair for this shot today. But on sale, have analog and digital inputs to hook into a TV. And they have a couple different products that have that speech intelligibility feature. These are an open-eared headphone.
Open air.
Open air, not open ear.
Not open ear.
That'd be a different
Open
thing.
air. They're
open air.
They're over the ear, so they
we go.
completely surround your ears,
Yep.
and they have an open sort of sound,
Yeah.
an open back, so that both sound from the outside world can get in, and that the others might hear what you're listening to as well.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. But that's
Is
great
that-
for
is that-
someone who
are
wants
we right
to.
about that? I feel like we just lied to everybody
About which part?
about them being open back.
Well, if I lied about it, then you backed me. So
That's
then
true.
We're both on the hook.
Look
there.
at this. We did closed back.
Like I was
design.
trying to explain to him, closed back design to keep that so you don't disturb the person next to you. You know, if you got a TV in the bedroom. But in all seriousness, we do have open-eared ones and closed-back ones. These guys apparently happen to be
wanna
the
tell you-
closed-back guy.
I want to tell you how I knew, because I would have just gone with you, but we
You
recently
were
did a
warned
video.
not to just go with me?
We recently did a video about these products. I'm showing it on there now if they want to put it up. And I had a customer literally call me directly after watching this video, wanted to know if he should get these or the less expensive Sennheiser RS 135.
Okay.
And what I was researching to see what the difference was, those are an on-ear
Okay.
open back design. These are an around the ear closed back design. And I dig these, and this is what that customer ended up purchasing.
There you go.
And because they will block out noise. They make a good seal. They're sort of they're not noise canceling, but they will isolate
Yeah.
outside noises from your ears. So
They also have a product called the Flex 5000, exact same price point as this, but actually has a headphone jack that you can hook any wired headphones to it, doing some of the exact same thing. So if you have some favorite wired headphones of yours and you want to integrate that into that, you know, with the television, you can absolutely do that.
yep,
So
you can just search for Flex 5000 on the website to see that right there.
there you go. That's the one.
Yep. So yeah, this is great. It receives wireless audio from your TV. Plug whatever headphones you want into it.
And also a neat thing to keep an eye out for, some of the newer TVs are actually starting to come with Bluetooth out to be able to pair with whatever your favorite Bluetooth headphones are. So, you know, at the end of the day, there's a number of ways to take care of this for folks, but, you know, if that speech intelligibility is something that, you know, that might be important to someone you're getting a gift for or for yourself, I definitely think these products from Sennheiser are a great way to go.
Boy, so this is a bunch of good stuff. You got headphones, you got AM and FM radio, a great Bluetooth speaker, more and more headphones. I can tell you, doing a live broadcast can be stressful. If only we had some way to, you know, relax my shoulders a bit.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll let you do that for your, oh, fine. You're taking my joke away right now, but.
What? No, go ahead, do your joke.
No, go ahead. Well, what I was going to say is this isn't the kind of product that, you know, folks normally associate with Crutchfield, but I can tell you it's created quite a buzz here around, you know, the office. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm here all day. Yeah. Stay away. We're good. But in all seriousness, I know a couple of employees here have already gone and bought some of these products.
Yeah.
Pretty excited to, you know, have something different, you know, outside of our normal, you know, car speakers and really cool stuff we carry. This is a new product category for us.
What is it? What's the brand? What are we talking? What are we looking at?
Yeah, so this is an Njoie workout recovery product. This is called the Electro. So this one's $50, and you know, you charge it. You can put it behind your seat, which doesn't work if you're on a stool. But there you go.
Oh my gosh.
That's what we're here for, people. That's what we're here for.
Yes.
And it's pretty cool visual if you.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, let's not do that.
Don't drop it. So the brand is Njoie.
Enjoy. Yes.
You can see how to spell it on my screen if you see that again. It's Njoie. Njoie Electro is that particular product. $50 in stock.
In stock, available in 2 colors.
Yeah. And there's various other ways to. There's a massage gun. There's various other things that will help you, like Eric said, recover from your workout. Right.
And New Year's is around the corner. I think every year I make a New Year's resolution that I'm going to take better care of myself. You know, maybe diet a little, work out. This
How's
could be
that
part
going
of
for
that.
you?
Well, you know, at least I
you-
bought a
there
new
we
toy.
go.
So.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of different things to choose from here. I think it really fits well with what we sell at Crutchfield because most of what we sell has to do with playing music.
Yeah.
Right? That's like a central focus: music, movies, TV shows, etc. And I have always found that playing music makes people feel better. Whether you're creating music or playing a song for yourself or for others, either live in a band or just putting a record on or playing music in your headphones, you feel better. I know I do.
Right.
And you know, a good massage will help you feel better as well.
Well, there you go.
So we're all about making people feel better, and that's kind of what we're into here. So
I tell you the real reason that I bought this, in January I'm going to be doing a lot of walking.
You are?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What you got going on in January?
That's called a segue. Yeah, you guys aren't the only ones that can do that, huh?
Apparently.
Moving
We've
this
got
along.
Some other good segues.
Yeah, well, I'm going to this little event called CES. Have you heard of it?
CES,
Yeah.
I've been going. It's it'll be my 4th or 5th time there.
Yeah, you've always liked to rub that in, but I get to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody made the executive decision that they should allow you to represent Crutchfield in Las
Yeah.
Vegas at the Consumer Electronics Show.
I think they're paying me to go.
You're going to get paid to go.
I think so.
You don't have
They
to do it on
didn't-
vacation on your own time.
They probably didn't need to do that, but it's too late now. You know, promises have been made. So yeah, I get to go to CES and we get to cover the show, and I'm really excited about that.
So this CES is the first live CES since the pandemic.
Right.
Killed it for us last year. It was all virtual.
Yep.
So there won't be quite as many people there. There won't be as much like a grandeur as it normally is.
Maybe.
Which is why we thought you should go.
Well played. Well played. I'll bring the grandeur then.
Yes, exactly. You got it. And it's where you are next going to see Eric and I, Crutchfield, live. That's where we're doing our next set of shows. We'll be in Vegas mainly to see what is there,
Right.
especially from the brands of products that we sell that will be showing their stuff off at CES. We're going to check out to see what they have, what's new. And we're going to report on it on a live broadcast. We're going to be there for most of a week, and we're going to do at least 4 live shows. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in that first week of January. Look for us to be live 5 o'clock Vegas time.
So 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Eastern time. Figure out what time that is in your time zone.
Right.
Set up alerts, follow our YouTube channel, subscribe, set up notifications. That way you'll definitely know when we're going live.
Let us know what to look for.
Yeah,
If you're
well-
interested in something.
We know what
We
we're
want
interested
questions.
in. Like I said,
Yeah.
we're going to be checking out the brands that we carry that are there. And we want to see what they have that is new. But there's probably more you would like us to know, to investigate, check out, and report back on. That's kind of what we would love to do. So you don't have to comment necessarily here on this live right now. You can after the fact. You can comment on our community posts on YouTube. Send us something on Facebook. Right? They can tell us any number of different ways what you would like us to check out at CES. And Eric and I are going to split up with a cameraman. We're going to go around and find out what all is cool, what's going on. I have a feeling we'll check out things like electric vehicles.
I hope so.
Seems like that's a lot. There's a lot of buzz going on. We talked about them
Absolutely.
in a previous live. There's questions. We have questions
Yes.
about electric vehicles.
Yes.
And a lot more stuff. So,
Right.
So I think that's about it. I don't think I've missed any comments here. Thank you to all of the people that were watching live and commenting. You made this a whole lot more fun. This Crutchfield Live show will become an audio-only version of our podcast as a bonus episode. Right now, we're between season 2 and season 3, and we're working on some really fun interviews of some really interesting Crutchfield employees for season 3 of the podcast. Eric and I host that together, so we'll be back for that in season 3 in 2022. And in the meantime, check out the bonus episodes, which is just this show, audio only. But if you haven't listened to all the other, like season 1 and season 2, a lot of great content there. Meet a lot of wonderful people and learn some really fun stuff.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for joining me. Eric.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being willing to give up some family time to go to CES in Las Vegas with me.
You know, the sacrifices we make.
Yeah, I appreciate your being willing to do that. Thank you to everybody here, cast and crew, everybody behind the scenes. Dylan, David, thank you also for joining me on set here today. And thanks to everybody for making this happen. Eric and I are signing out. I'm JR. Have a wonderful time. We'll see you in Las Vegas.
See ya. And go.
Yeah.
After hearing her band, I was thinking maybe we could have some new intro and outro music.
I mean, Dylan's great, but...